Maya gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white. Ashwood Manor loomed before her, a silhouette against the setting sun. A shiver ran down her spine. It had been 5 years since her grandmother's passing, 5 years since she last set foot on the gravel driveway leading to the imposing Victorian house. Childhood memories flickered in Maya's mind. Summers spent exploring the manor's dusty attics, the scent of her grandmother's lavender perfume, the comforting crackle of the fireplace on chilly evenings. Ashwood had been her sanctuary, a place of warmth and laughter. Now it felt cold, unwelcoming. The iron gates creaked open, their hinges groaning in protest. As Maya drove through, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The house seemed to stare back at her, its windows like vacant eyes. A wave of unease washed over her, whispering that some things are best left undisturbed. Parking the car, Maya stepped out, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The silence was heavy, broken only by the distant cawing of crows. Taking a deep breath, she picked up her suitcase, the weight of her apprehension heavier than any luggage. The house seemed to have shrunk in her absence. Or perhaps it was Maya who had grown, no longer the carefree child who roamed its halls. Dust lay thick on the antique furniture and cobwebs clung to the ornate chandeliers. The air felt stale, heavy with the weight of neglect and the lingering presence of the past. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of wind in the ivy clinging to the walls sent shivers down Maya's spine. Shadows seemed to lengthen and deepen, twisting into menacing shapes in the fading light. She wandered through the rooms, each one a faded memory, now tinged with an unsettling eeriness. The grandfather clock in the hallway stood frozen, its hands stopped at the exact moment her grandmother had breathed her last. Maya reached out, her fingers tracing the cold, polished wood. A wave of sadness washed over her, a poignant reminder of all that she had lost. As dusk settled, the house seemed to close in on her, its silence becoming oppressive. Maya decided to light a fire in the drawing-room fireplace, hoping to chase away the growing chill that seemed to seep from the very walls. The fire crackled, casting flickering shadows across the room. Maya sifted through a box of old photographs, each one a snapshot of a life lived and gone. Her grandmother's smiling face stared back at her, frozen in time. Tears welled up in Maya's eyes. She missed her more than words could express. Then her fingers brushed against a photograph, unlike the others. It was a faded, sepia-toned image of a young girl, no older than 10, with large, mournful eyes. She wore a frilly dress that seemed oddly out of place, even for the time period. The girl's gaze held a haunting intensity, seeming to pierce through Maya. Who was this child? And why had her grandmother kept her picture tucked away so carefully? Maya searched for any clue, any inscription on the back, but found nothing. The girl remained an enigma, her presence in the photograph both intriguing and unsettling. Flipping through the remaining photographs, Maya found nothing to shed light on the mysterious girl. Disappointment mingled with a growing sense of unease. It was as if the house itself was guarding its secrets, unwilling to reveal them. That night, lying in her grandmother's old four-poster bed, Maya found sleep elusive. The silence of the house was broken by the occasional creak and groan of the old structure, each sound amplified in the darkness. Just as she was drifting off, a noise jolted her awake. It was a soft rapping coming from the direction of the attic door. 3 distinct knocks, followed by silence. Her heart pounded in her chest. Had she imagined it? She strained her ears, listening intently. The sound came again, more insistent this time. Throwing back the covers, Maya crept towards the attic door, her hand trembling as she reached for the handle. What was she doing? It was probably just the wind or an animal in the attic, but a part of her, a primal instinct, urged her to investigate. Taking a deep breath, she flung open the door. The attic was pitch black, the air thick with dust and the musty odor of forgotten things. For a moment there was only silence. Then she heard it again, a faint scratching sound, followed by a soft pleading voice whispering her name. Maya? Maya!